Thank you so much for coming, by the way. We're also, yeah, just to be clear, we're also students, and we understand that it's like week of finals, and just honestly appreciate everybody coming out so much. The reason why we essentially wanted to get this town hall organized is so that students across different divisions in the new school could come together. Obviously, so many of them are probably studying right now or doing work, which is legitimate. But I'm really glad that you're here because I think that this is a very, very important subject that isn't nearly discussed as much as it should be in our curricular, cultural, and academic environment here at the new school. And I think that a lot of people really prioritize these issues, and I just kind of we wanted to provide for an open venue to connect students and to connect administration and staff members to all talk on this subject and join in the discussion. So essentially this is what's going to be happening tonight. The introduction, we're going to identify objectives, we're going to do an overview of the released report. I don't know if everybody's heard of that. We released a report that was commissioned by the Office of the Provost, and we're going to show videos and explain that report as much as we can, so that everybody just kind of has a better contextual idea of what we're talking about tonight. And then we're going to announce what's already underway, which is why these student leaders are sitting here. These are all heads of student organizations that are all promoting events or promoting just kind of participatory activities surrounding social justice issues. Then we're going to have an activity, and then we're going to have Q&A, and then there will be closing remarks. So, our goals for this evening.
So this is from like reading the PowerPoint slides of the presentations where they tell you never read the same thing on the screen, but we'll do this anyway in case you can't see it. So a few of our goals tonight are essentially to hear from folks that are here in the audience and try to get a better sense of how people are thinking about this and also what people identify as some of the needs and priorities. The second one is to try to both show and remind people that there is a bigger network of students that are working on social justice issues here, and to use this as one, hopefully many opportunities to put names and faces and people all together in the same room thinking about these together. And then along with that, the third one is to actually make these into alliances, not just groups here, groups there, but to put our power into more collective actions. And then finally, to put all this into a much bigger discussion that goes beyond just this town hall, beyond this division here in Lang, and approaches all of the 8 schools or 7.5 with mergers, and put everyone into this discussion together so that we can think, what do these issues mean in jazz and drama and Manus and Lang and social research and general studies, Milano.
So, releasing the report. So the report it was essentially commissioned by the provost last year, in 2009. We finished it, I was part of the working group that created the report. I was just a student researcher on the report. One of the people who did a bulk of the research is also here in the audience, who is Jessie Villalobos. So this report was essentially charged to this small group of people to look at social concerns, like social justice issues in the new school, through interviewing students, connecting with administration staff, and kind of evaluating internal projects and programs in the university and how they're dealing with these issues and what they're doing to strengthen support for students of color, LGBT students, LGBTQ students, and low-income students. The University Student Senate decided to release this report because we wanted to invite students, the main stakeholders, into this conversation. We definitely wanted to understand what students' priorities are as far as all of these different options, like all of these different possible recommendations are concerned, and all of these different priorities that pop up from different student groups that might not even know that one another, is actively working towards strengthening the support for these marginalized groups of people in our community. So, in that, we are together now to learn more about the report. This is the only quote that I actually have from the report for this entire presentation. I want to assure you we're going to be playing videos from this point forward. But I just kind of wanted to read it out loud because it really kind of encompasses the point of us coming together and being here tonight and looking forward to a stronger academic understanding of how to embrace these issues and how to propel them in our communities. So in our view, a 21st century diversity initiative acknowledges the socially, culturally, racially, and intellectually segregated character of academic cultures and mandates an agenda of desegregation, seeking the ultimate goal of social justice and equity within and beyond the academy. So to introduce that concept is a professor, no, it's the Associate Director of Cultural Affairs at Parsons, Sarah Forsad.
When we discuss
I need the volume on this.
education and art and design education, we're really talking about the same thing. So what we have to consider is, what is the role of education in the formation of a citizen in a democracy? If that is what we're considering, then the questions that arise have to do with, what does it mean for a citizen to participate in the decision-making process? And what is the role of equality and justice in our world? So art and design education is not just about making objects, it's about the world of ideas and how those ideas shape and form the society in which we live. And that society at this moment is fraught with inequality. And one way we can rethink education, art and design education, is to rethink how we can diminish inequality within this particular society.
So the report does discuss, it's about 16 pages long with a 40-page appendix, and there are different students, there are different stories from students, administration, staff members, and everyone discusses their experiences and their thoughts and their own personal opinions and recommendations on the subject.